My problems here. Okay, this is testing 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3 testing 1 2 3. Turn this down a little bit so you're not hearing me breathe through my nostrils constantly. Uh, hello, hello. Is there anybody out there? I'm broadcasting. The feed is not running. Oh well, Jay Kruger, good to see you. Uh, just a second. I gotta reboot this page. It doesn't seem to be showing. Okay. Well, it's me. It's me. As you can see, uh, I've narrowed down my problem with my audio. I think the Adobe Flash Media Live Encoder is not detecting my minicam. I have one program called Minicam that's basically the stereo and video mixer. I have another one that's Adobe Flash Media that encodes what the Minicam picks up and beams it out over the internet. For some reason, Adobe Flash Media Live Encoder has stopped. It still picks up Minicam for video, but it does not pick up anything but my headphones for audio. And I cannot fix it. I've tried. This does not make me happy because I'm probably going to have to reboot it. Reinstall it and all that other crap. And that's still, just all around the Mulberry Bush crap time. But, you know, that's my life. That is my life. Now, I figure if I play the audio over the speakers in my on my computer, you might be able to hear it from my microphone a little bit. So that I'm going to try that here. Just picking it up from the general environment. Tell me if you can hear like rain. This is as good as it gets, folks. It's apparently picking it up a little bit, so we'll go with that. I hate birds. I don't like birds, birdie noises. You hear them all the time on everything. I'm turning the birds down a little bit. Turning the birds off. Replacing it with rain on roof. It's going to be a little bit warmer tonight, so I might not, I managed to survive. I managed to survive. I gotta wait a minute. Let me show you something. Uh, Now this, it occurs to me to be sort of weirded out by this. Now, uh, look at this. Now look at that. Now how many, this is kind of weird. I mean, my mother, same thing. She had one of these cookie tins, and it was usually full of sewing supplies. And apparently this guy, same story. And how is it that every single person identifies, as this is the caption here, how is it that every single person identifies with this? That's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. That literally everybody has seen the cookie tin that was really full of sewing equipment. You know how it is. Childhood, constant disappointment. Oh, a cookie tin. It's got sewing buttons in it. Click. It, that is just so odd. Now, have you ever seen anybody actually eat the cookies? I haven't. The only time, I think maybe I've seen these in the store. The box in the store. The tin. And you find these in a home, they are never they never have cookies in them. They always have sewing supplies. Is like, was there some evil grandmother who hated small children or something that started this tradition? Oh well. Oh, we've got two people in the audience. Jonathan Kruger. Well, you're having to leave early. Good luck. For those who are wondering, I managed to survive last night. Uh, Bundled up. I sat here just wrapped up in blankets, an electric blanket, just keeping warm. This sucks. If you people saw me, I really think you would be so disappointed in me. You'd be like, this homeless bum is the guy we've been, I'm not homeless, not technically, but a little more wood rot, and I might be. This trailer trash bum is the guy we follow on the internet. sort of bummed me out. Tired. These. Uh, it's wearing me down to nub. It's only been like 3 or 4 days, and 3 or 4 days of cold, and it's been a shitty month. I'll be honest with you. It really has. I'm months behind. I'm not going to talk about finding. I'm just I want to talk about stuff, but I can't feel. I feel like I can't talk about stuff without sounding like whiny or like I'm begging, and that's humiliating, really. This time last year, I had done a fundraiser, a Patreon fundraiser that brought in a total of 5 grand. It counted on the previous year in taxes, which nearly killed me, and and it looked like things were going to start picking up, and I have and things have just been crumbling around the edges ever since, and I'm still I'm still chugging away at the project. I've already months ago I set aside put money into kablam.com, had it turned into printer credits so that we uh, should have enough for the printer run for all the people that get free copies. Should. Let's see here. I've got the digital foot of the DVDs. RHJunior DVD. I've just got to update it with new files. Get the archives in here updated to full value. But other than that, no. Okay, we got 2 people in channel. Would you both please enter your names? Type something into the chat window so I know you're there. Just so I know you're there. Let's see here. Live dashboard. Hello, we've got Adrian Halls, Riley King, Lord Firebeard, and John Kruger just left. I think that thing is counting myself as a visitor. I don't know. Anyway, oh, just a second here. Just file save as. Somebody sent me a gift copy of we'll do something different here. Somebody gave me a gift copy of Undertale. Undertale. It's apparently it's all that age on the internet now. It is so retro. Uh, and just for the heck of it, we're gonna play it. All right. Okay. Let me turn off this nature sounds here. Ooh, the silence. And just for the fun of it, I'm gonna boot this up and we'll play it. While you watch. Let's see here. Play this. Image. How do you do audio? No, wait a minute here. Here. Game. Add new. Add game. Browse. Desktop. Okay. And now we picked a game. And it's not going to launch. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Well, it's not working that way. Hold on. Well, we'll just do it this way. This is really old school. I mean, they sealed the monsters underground with a magic. Humans won. Sealed the monsters underground with a magic spell. Mount Ebbet. Let me image zoom in on that a bit. Okay, Undertale. Okay, I've already played a little bit of it, but we'll reset it and start it from the beginning. Now, you can't use your mouse on this. This is all keyboard. Eddie was my nickname growing up, so we'll go with that. And this is me, little squinty-eyed kid. This is one of the things about the game. It remembers if you restart. It remembers, and you get this kind of thing where fourth wall breaking. The flower's a liar, in case you were wondering. Evil flower. Now that's just effing creepy. Flowey the flower. And this is actually the real Toriel. She's basically she's the tutorial, hence the name. This is very deliberately old school, so you have to go from room to room solving puzzles. Now, the interesting thing about this game is that it is not uh, and the thing of it is that with Undertale, supposedly you have two options. You can just hack your way through everything, or you try and befriend your way through everything. Now, the Western, this first puzzle is rather simple. The floor pattern in the previous room was the key to getting out here. Now, the Mercy route is supposed to be more challenging. We're not going to get anywhere until we disobey her and go into another room. Monster candy. Oh, this is, yeah. Basically, you gotta dodge those sparks. It's very okay. I could spend, it could take hours to get to a point in this game that, see. Oh, well, you're only allowed to take one, apparently. Them frogs are all over the darn place today. It's, this game has generated a huge fandom. I have to say it. Now, 20 years ago, this is it, basically. It is. Now, let's see here. Can't exactly say this is a riveting. The yellow dot in the pile of leaves, huh? Oh yeah, so I've seen Not a Villain, the anime comic. It's post-apocalyptic, isn't it? It's Now you're saying in the gold pile. Okay. All right. Let's see here. I don't see a yellow spot. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Dang, frogs everywhere. Okay, let's see here. Mercy, spare. Yeah, I remember the comic is supposed to be a sort of a post-apocalyptic world where everything sucks so bad that everybody spends their time in virtual reality just to avoid it. I'm trying for the pacifist route. Ah, that's a map to where the holes are on the top floor. Okay, so the piles of leaves. Now let's see here. Okay, act. Try being nice. See if that gets me somewhere. Ah, darn it. Didn't go close enough. Ah. Yeah, mole smalls. Apparently, I'm either supposed to flirt with them. If their text is yellow, you can spare them. Well, that's nice. Okay, there isn't really much you can say about this. It's rather straightforward. Uh, I'll read the sign. Let's see, inventory. Well, that's handy. Okay, he just bought some spider cider and a donut. I'm guessing it boosts your health. Let's see here. Let's see. Item spider cider. Item spider cider. Spider donut. Info. Yeah, I already been there. By spiders, of spiders, and for spiders. Hmm. This guy isn't going to play nice. It's very. It's not exactly a challenging game, but it's an interesting game all the same. Ah, the green bullets heal you. Ah, live and learn. Not sure what happened there, but it happened. Another Vegetoid. Ah, I get a feeling you've played this game before, have you? Oh, I'll take tips. Yeah, you're not the one playing, but I'll take tips. I'm one of these people who plays in God mode and cheat cheat sheets and secret codes and all the other crap. I'll take it, man. Yeah, I know. I have to go back and get it. Yeah, I'm not doing much talking here. I need somebody else to be talking with me to keep me holding a conversation. If I'm going to be doing this type of game play thing, I better find a place to save my life soon. Here, save my progress soon. It's not an exit, just a change in perspective. Oh well, that kind of sucked. Ah well. Oh good grief. These random encounter things is what I played Final Fantasy, the original Final Fantasy, a couple of times. I got so sick of these random encounters. You're just trying to cross a dang room, and all of a sudden, and you're up to your face in trolls or something. You can actually exhaust the random encounters. Okay, now that's an interesting change. Okay, it's clever enough. It's a fun game. It keep you engrossed. It kept me sitting there slack jawed for about what 30 minutes. Only if you kill them all. Oh well, that's the catch there. If you're going the pacifist route, that just makes it that much harder because you could keep running into these guys over and over again. You telling me this whole maze is just the tutorial? This all of this is just the tutorial. You killing me. You're killing me now. Oh my. Well, we'll leave that for later, some other time. Oh goodness. Oh, excuse me. I got a nature calls. I'll be right back. Testing, testing, one, two, three, testing, one, two, three. I'm back. An interesting game, but yeah, gotten too used to the modern era of games. Well, some of them do. Like I say, I'm a regular player of WildStar. And it runs on my computer just fine. Other games like Champions, um, uh, sometimes they take a little tweaking. Uh, I think that people make a mistake. They think that they get nostalgic for these old games, and they think it's all about the style, the 8 bits, the graphics and the digital music. And it wasn't that. It's that the people who made them used what little they had and made a lot. They had a very limited canvas, but they managed to make engrossing, uh, involved games. Of course, they didn't have anything to compete with. But most of the games you have now, you could put them on. You could redo them in like 8 bit, and wouldn't change much of the story. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's the thing is that gaming as an art form, it's very enigmatic because you have a conflict between the people who want to make a game in the traditional sense of the word, one that challenges skills and one that involves skills and luck and puzzle solving and well, just the definition of a game that goes all the way back to chess and checkers, tic tac toe, and every other thing that falls under the umbrella of game theory. But there are other people that are into the game industry. Uh, they seem to be trying to write a story. They're trying to tell a story and have you, the player, immersed in it. The thing of it is that the game designer who is all about the story, he forgets that the player might want to tell a different story. That's why with pen and paper games like Dungeons and Dragons, the go-to example, the game master has to be flexible and has to be willing to change things on the fly, so that if the players go off in an interesting new direction, the story can change to accommodate it. When you have a digital game, uh, the story is much less flexible, and this is why you see these stories where you can have a good ending or a bad ending, or a sort of blah middle of the ground ending, and and all these other things that are like the morality scale variations, like in Fate, and it just comes down to them trying to make it look like you are not on a set of rails. This is why people take games like Grand Theft Auto, and you will see thousands of videos where they've done hacks and mods and all these other things, and where they, how many cars can we stack up on top of each other in the middle of the interstate, and the crazy crap like that. Because once they've played out the game, uh, there's nothing left but the trail back and forth, and it gets old. And this is why Momorpagers online role playing games, well, there isn't enough room for actual role playing, because I've heard it likened to a theme park where you go from place to place and stand in line patiently to ride one of the rides, and each of the rides is one of the missions that you do. And you do the mission, and then the world reboots, and it's like nothing you did mattered. Making a new game, a role playing game, a digital online, with a full experience, one that where the world can change according to how you play. That takes more flexibility than can be accomplished with programming alone. One of my ideas is that they need to make a sandbox world, and instead of having these freestanding, these mission giving little NPCs, hire a staff of people to be basically game masters. That's just an idea on my part. Instead of pre scripting everything, make it open field. Uh, Hire a group of people who handle setting up new missions, and setting new quests, and who even control the villains, the big bad bosses, and give them a basic toolkit to make new challenges as the world grows, and as the players play and build and change the world. Or like one of my suggestions was, this was inspired by City of Heroes and City of Villains back when they were still online, when they were still running. The thing of it was they had City of Heroes and they had City of Villains, but the players never interacted in between the two. And I'm like, there's your solution right there. Don't prefabricate missions and cause let them suss it out for themselves. Uh, Eve Online, from what I understand, uses some of those principles. Of course, I've also heard that for 99% of the time, you might as well uh, be an accountant working on a spreadsheet. They've gone a little too far in the realism direction that way. But they have from what I understand, they have the closest thing to a real world economy, which means they have the closest thing to a real virtual world. And at one point, it was what was it last year that uh, events entirely unscripted, but events uh, collided. It was a perfect storm. Uh, uh, you know, a couple of various guilds started squabbling over some stretch of asteroids, and the next thing they knew, they had this huge galactic battle. I mean, stuff that would leave your eyes popping out. You wouldn't even, I mean, Star Wars level stuff. Uh, just battleships blasting away at each other in this area of space. Uh, Fighter street, the whole 9 yards, and they couldn't have scripted it. They couldn't have scripted it. And that battle, as I recall, it went on for something like 3 days. They say that millions of dollars in real money was used up because these people, they had spent years on some of these ships they had built in the game, and they had invested hundreds or even thousands of real dollars into them, and they were out there blasting them into digital kibble. When video games start having, when battles in a video game start having shockwaves in the real world, that's impressive. But I think that the real innovators are going to be the ones who take lessons from that game. Take lessons from the previous and learn to let the players write their own story. If you follow what I'm saying. Now, I love WildStar. I love it. I play it all the time. It's free, so. Uh, but there are certain gaps in play that I can't fix, as a player, and that are just unfixable. Is well, for instance, there is this character, a protagonist, one of the NPCs, major league important uh, characters, Drusera. she's basically a cosmic entity, and she contacts you when she needs your help, right? To battle this evil called the Strain. The problem is that she gives you're different, you're special. You may be the one to help me defeat the evil villain. You are the chosen one. The problem is that every character that plays gets that pitch. Ooh, you are the chosen one. You know, everybody's the ring bearer. You know what I'm saying? And if you have more than one, if you have more than one character, if you have your main character and you have a couple of alternatives, great. You're doing the same missions over again. You have different, your character has different abilities and talents and powers, but uh, uh, it's a retread. Now, one of the things that makes games like this so popular is is the natural human desire for mastery. What do I mean by that? The desire to increase your skills in something. This is why every football game is the same. Let's face it. Ball goes that way, ball goes that way. But people play it for years, decades, and they work at it, improving their skills, mastery, and that's one of the things that attracts people to online RPGs. Is that even though once they've beaten the story game, the game story, they can come back with another character and do it again better, faster, with a higher score, and you know, gathering more of the hidden secrets fast. It's all about mastery. But uh, when every adventure is a retread, I don't know. I guess one of the dreams, the impossible dream that most people have about games, computer games, is for somebody to develop a computer game that is engrossing and fun and enjoyable, but also sharpens real world skills. I think that would be the holy grail of computer of game design. They've been trying this for years. Quote unquote educational games. I think the key to making a real educational game, making if it can't be really educational. What I mean by that is that you play it because it's fun, and not because it's the only game mom will let you play. The education you pick up from it should be organic. You shouldn't even be aware that you're learning. I don't know what you mean by currently we've got the best one. Currently, the best we've got are ones that sharpen moral skills. I don't know. I would beg to differ. Uh, the problem with most of these morality slider games, where your choices are good, good or evil, is that well, they're kind of limited in their scope. Uh, uh, the morality slider on the game is based on the ethical beliefs of whoever designed the game, and usually it's bare bones. By necessity, the morality play they put on is uh, stuff you should have figured out in kindergarten. Yeah, arbitrary. That's a word for it. Everybody talked about Bioshock. Bioshock with its you know the subtlety of its morality system, and I'm like, dude, if you need to be lectured to be told that hitting a little girl with a wrench is bad, no. We need a speak. I'm going to say it straight out. Speaking as a Christian, we need more than just bare minimum uh, kindergarten morality. We need a return to God fearing biblical morality. This our society uh, secularized itself. Not no, calling it secularized is too light. Uh, uh, we de-Christianized our society. Now we've got people arguing that the and a lost world is bad enough, but we've got a world that is out there arguing that it should be perfectly acceptable to uh, starve the elderly to death in their sick beds just to make more room. We've gone so far astray. We've got people that praising the virtue of abortionists as heroes, who praise perverts, who would let murderers and child killers loose in the streets and call it virtuous because it was so compassionate. They curse and spit on Christians and Christianity, and welcome. They clutch a poison asp to their breast with Islam. This is a loss of morals and virtues that no simple be kind to strangers uh, Saturday morning cartoon lecture is ever going to patch. I'm pleased with this particular drawing of the two robot suits. I do think that the orange one is a little stiff in his pose. Pleased with it. Pleased with the quartet of Rakonans there. Really pleased with it. Very sharp. I like how it came out. It looks very sharp. It's not very often I'm thrilled with how things went. Uh, okay, for those who for anybody who didn't know before, we got a sizable audience. We're almost into double digits. Get three more people online, please. But for those who want to know, I do take commissions. I need to take commissions. This is the closest thing I have to a job. So, not only do I take regular commissions, $20 black and white, $40 for color. I have reopened cameo commissions for the comic strips. You can have yourself or your character uh, make an appearance in one of my comic strips. Your choice. Uh, you can have a single color comic strip for $40, or you can have a five strip arc, black and white, for $100. So if you have a character you'd like to see appear in Nip and Tuck, you go to the front page. The buttons are there. In the right there on the front page, just scan down. In the blog right there, it says it has the buttons. You can pick which strip you want in and what size. Whether you want one strip or a five strip series. And yay. when you think about these morality choice games, they're kind of a step backwards. Think about it, with every other game, up to this point, it was assumed that you, the player, were the good guy. There was an understanding. There was good guys and there was bad guys. And the good guys had to fight the bad guys to save the day. And if they didn't fight the bad guys would destroy the world or kidnap the princess or whatever. Uh, Not subtle, but clear. It's these new it's these new morality systems that give the player the option to be a jerk, to be a villain, to be a criminal, to be cruel and violent and ruthless and a jerk, and in fact, uh, in a way, subtly penalizes the player for not choosing that option because it basically means that half the game content, including an entire separate story chain, is not available to the player who insists on sticking to a more virtuous route. So it's arguable that it is teaching the exact opposite lesson from what people want. It's presenting being evil as an option for more entertaining results. And they say, oh well, the player who plays the villain comes to a bad end. Yeah, comes to a bad end, but in the meta text, in the meta sense, he is being rewarded with a whole new line of gameplay, a whole new storyline, and a whole new ending. That is sort of the problem with any. That's the problem with any game system where you have uh, two factions. The alliance and the horde, or like in WildStar, the exiles and the Dominion. It's pretty expressly clear that the Dominion are the bad guys, but you've got half the people playing choosing it. Everybody has one exile, one at least one Dominion character, just so they can get the extra content. You're being rewarded for being a jerk. And looking at World of Warcraft, they present certain options for player characters that make it go, what the hell were they thinking? They've got the warlocks, which are supposed to be demonologists, and I was looking at I tried to convince myself oh, it's just a game, but Heck no, because and now they've got this they call it Demon Hunter as a new class in World of Warcraft. Basically, you're half demon yourself, and to play these characters, and then there's the undead class, where the what are they? I forget the name of this of the race. They are basically presenting presenting the option to play an evil monster as a new player goodie. The Forsaken. Yeah, but you get my point. You don't want to over exaggerate. I mean, it's make believe, it's play, but it's something to keep in mind. It's something to think about. In our society today, uh, people are saying over and over again, it, uh, they've said it in so many different ways. Uh, People miss real heroes. Our cultural superiors, the ones who spoon feed society their movies and plays and TV shows, consider themselves too sophisticated for such a quote unquote simplistic worldview. Where good was good and evil was evil. And but people have said before, uh, the superhero, the reason that I think the reason that superhero movies have done so well isn't so much just nerd boy nostalgia. It's a simple nostalgia for heroes who were, to at least some extent, paragons. That they were clearly on the side of the angels. They had their flaws, but they were still clearly, obviously, transparently on the side of the angels and without apology. People miss being able to believe in good versus evil, right versus wrong, in believing in uh, uh, the uh, the goodness of their own country, of the United States of America. They believe in American exceptionalism. They believe that America stood for something. Why do you think the Captain America movies just blew the doors off? They just Thanks to the Quislings and milksops in our cultural backwash, we've spent decades not being able to say yes. We are, being chastised for saying yes. We are America. We are the good guys. We stand for freedom. We stand for justice. We stand for a representative government. We stand for the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, and we believe in the principles that were etched down on that paper. And we still do. And yes, we are the good guys. They are the bad guys. Life, liberty, and the relentless pursuit of those who would threaten it. Yeah, Riley. I'll tell you, the two most recent Superman movies, they really don't understand how to write Superman. There's a guy who wrote on this. He did a video on it on YouTube. He explained it in a much better detail than I could. He was doing this as part of his explanation of what a Mary Sue is. Now, backing up, the problem with let's go down that trail. He was explaining what a Mary Sue is. A Mary Sue is the general explanation is that is a character is perfectly perfect and wonderful and and does everything everybody does. There's all these meandering explanations and definitions of a Mary Sue. And someone will say ridiculously powerful or success, or they win all the time, or and but that's not a real definition of a Mary Sue. The definition this man gave, the definition that this commenter gave, is a Mary Sue is a character who is so perfect that they are unchallenged and unchanged by the events of the narrative. Uh, Superman, he's ridiculously powerful. He's noble and upright. He's been called the Big Blue Boy Scout, but he is not a Mary Sue because he is in his stories, in his better written ones anyway. He is challenged by the events of the narrative. He meets enemies that not just physically his equal. He meets challenges that force him to stand for his values, even though it costs him. A well-written Superman is about a man. He's most not all stories are the the hero's journey about the callow farm boy who becomes the Jedi Knight. Not all of them are. Some of them begin not with the callow farm boy, with the hero already standing. This is the guy who can save the day. We don't enjoy watching Superman because we're watching him struggle to become what he is. We're watching him resist the urge to fall. to give in to either physical or moral weakness. There was a special publication. There was a issue of Superman. It's called "What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way," and it had Superman going up against this team of more modern anti-heroes. They were ruthless and violent, and you know, you, you know, didn't even blink when it came to killing their enemies, and their attitude was he was a has-been because he wouldn't do what was necessary, and basically uh, they finally challenge him, and he goes out to they go off the rails, and he goes out to stop them, and they're thrashing him up one side and down the other, and then he just seems to lose it on them, and he opens up, and they're standing there in a circle around him. They've pounded him into the ground, and all of a sudden, boom, he goes from zero to super speed, and one of their team is missing. And they realize that he'd been holding back, and he proceeds to take them out one by one. And it's pretty clear from the wreckage left behind that he has killed them. And he finally gets down to the leader of the group, and the guy's freaking out. He says, "You can't do this. You can't do this. You're Superman." He says, "You're right, I am." And I didn't. He had managed to knock out each of the team members at super speed, and tuck them away safely elsewhere, miles away, while he went and then went back to take out the chief, the leader of the group, by stunning a part of his brain that gave him his psychic powers. And his point was that's what makes me Superman. I don't take the easy way out. And for comparison, he was the guy I was talking about, the guy who did this observation about Superman and about Mary Sue's. He said, for comparison, take the protagonist of My Immortal, the rather notorious Harry Potter fanfic. She's no, it's not about power, because compared to Superman, she is not anywhere near as powerful. But in her little universe, everything goes her way. She's always right. She's never wrong. She's never challenged. Uh, there's nothing that she faces that makes her doubt or question herself, and she has no flaws. She is unaffected by the narrative she's in. Well, Adrian, I've only read bits and pieces of the story. I know what you mean. What narrative? But the point is in her, she's basically a character that's taken and put into the Harry Potter world, and she's not challenged. She's not challenged or changed by in any way by the events that take place around her. Oh goodness. Justice League and Naruto. Oh, interesting. Connecting the dots. Okay, is that on fanfiction.net? Archive of our own? Where is it? Give it. Just stick a link up there, Edgar. That is a long name. You got the Edgar Francisco Bermudez Mojica. I didn't think that they would let you have a name that long on chat room. Film fiction, connecting the dots. Net. Wait a minute. You said where? Fan fiction, film fiction, Justice League, Naruto. You do know that film fiction. Why? I think you mean fanfiction.net. What the heck is burn notice about? Ah, here we go. Took me a while to find it. I spend forever waiting for. I've got like dozens, if not hundreds, of fan fictions in my favorites lists on all these sites. And doggone it if any of them ever update. Got it. Ah, Burn Notice. Right, right, right. I know about that. I've never seen the show, is what I'm saying. Let's see here. I got stories in this list older than dirt that I haven't seen update in months or years. Everybody already update your story, update your story. I'm like, update your story. Oh, good news. Got some good news. They finally unblocked my story. Let's see here. That's what I was going to look at. I wanted to see if there are any new my dashboard. Works. Parting words. Let's see. Starting over again. Here we go. Yep, it's unblocked. Hooray! Yay! Three cheers and a camel. Haven't heard any word back. I haven't heard any word back yet from Dr. Wolf about the video. Of course, that's probably got to be at least a week or so, a couple of weeks of work. You know, he's got to pick out the backdrop and uh, you know, and do the recording and then do the little animation thing with the little figures and stuff. All that shiny junk. Oh my. Okay. I wouldn't. Miguel de Cervantes. Well, I feel illiterate. Uh, who is Miguel de? Is Cervantes the guy who wrote? Uh, uh, and my brain just stopped. Uh, the Man of La Mancha. I keep wanting to say Marco Polo. I know that's not Pancho. Uh, just can't remember Don Quixote. I don't know why I couldn't spit that out. Don Quixote. I don't know why I would be. Is there any particular reason I would be Miguel de Cervantes? Because the reason he wrote Don Quixote was to basically to satirize the obsession people had at that time, the intellectuals had with the knights and the medieval chivalry and all of that. And the irony is that his story has become romanticized in people's popular imagination. Don Quixote. I'm trying to see what the parallel is between me and Miguel de Cervantes. Ah, well, there you go. Satire. Very well, thank you very much. You know, there are many Christians who would say that my writing stories of fantasy and magic, and especially with all the magic in them, that I was doing wickedness. 99% of the time, I do not believe that. It's make believe, and I know better. But there are times I worry about that. I worry about that constantly. That by indulging in stories about magic and uh, sorcery and fantasy creatures and so on and so forth, that I would might be giving offense before before God. It's it's a worry that's never going to quite go away. Sometimes my conscience is clear. Other times I'm not so sure. I loathe. Oh, this is true. I loathe certain fanfics because they exploit many cliches and stereotypes, and also because some are just okay. They're almost maliciously hostile to basic family values, Christian values, moral, cultural values. Their world isn't complete unless they've included at least one lesbian in the story someplace. I've been seeing things I ought not be seeing with those. Just uh, I have to get down on my knees and confess before God. So there, just it's like there's no self awareness with them. The fan fiction writers and the fan artists, especially. I remember I found, I'd find a couple of uh, art archives for My Little Pony fan fiction, fan art. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is nice. Why is this one blocked? Click. Oh, hey, whoa. I don't think that's anatomically possible. Moving on. Elegantly. Me, elegant. Yeah. Dude, I'm the big dude. Elegant and me, it's just opposite ends of the planet. Uh, he's I have long forsaken the arts of subtlety. Of course, it's like that one comic strip I did. Is uh, uh, Zelda was interviewing Nip about the movies he'd been in. You know, uh, Last Man, Man on the Border, and she was saying, some people are saying that your message, your political message in these things isn't very subtle. There isn't much subtlety in your political message in these movies. And while he's sitting there interviewing, a bunch of protesters pop up behind them, waving signs and hooting and hollering, and he looks over and says, "Yeah, because that's what the opposition has been, subtle." It's exhausting sometimes. We live in a world where they don't. How do you preach values to people who don't believe that values exist? They consider you an enemy for even saying that there is a right and a wrong, and God help you if you tell them that what they're doing is on the side of the wrong. And they seem to have no awareness, no self awareness. They never seem to take a step back, and look at what they're doing. And you wonder if they ever take a minute and step back and these the ones that draw these smutty pictures of My Little Pony fan art. You ever wonder if they just step back and go, dear Lord, I'm drawing porn of a cartoon made for little girls. They just no awareness. These are they're these people. They've drawn acres. I mean, they have to literal, just hundreds of pictures of pornographic content, and they go, and you want to go, dude, you spent hundreds of man hours drawing genitals on little pink ponies. And let's everybody wants to blame this on a particular fandom. That's the thing of it. Oh, the perverts pop up and they go, oh, those My Little Pony fans are freaks, or they pop up, when you got furry fans, and, oh, those furry fans, oh, they're all freaks, and they pop up in the sci-fi, and oh, those or animation fans, oh, those anime fans are all perverted freaks, and it's all the same mob. These people, these people move from fandom to fandom, bringing their sickness with them. If they're not drawing, nasty pictures of Twilight Sparkle one day, they'll be, uh, you know, drawing something with tentacles and schoolgirls the next. It's not a particular fandom that has a problem. It's a human problem. It's a problem with, I think in particular, it's a problem with the sort of people who become fans. Now, what I mean by that, fandoms, whether you're talking, regardless of what fandom you're talking about, whether you're talking Star Wars or My Little Pony or, uh, well, you name it. Uh, these eccentric fandoms tend to attract people who are not particularly skilled socially. They generally tend to be people who are slightly awkward at best in in the mainstream, and they find a sense of community there. The problem is that uh, it's not just nice, but nice but introverted nerds who gather together. You've also got people who have a good reason to be shunned by the mainstream, who see fandoms as a sanctuary, uh, like a maggot burrowing into the side of a corpse. These people, there are people who are, uh, something of a social outcast because they're socially clumsy. There are other people who are social outcasts because they're freaks. And they see a group of social outcasts coming together and think that this is the perfect place to march on in and let their freak flag fly. No. Uh, Desmond Morris's hypothesis, no. His belief that the people who read My Little Pony porn are potential pedophiles. Uh, no, I would say it's more the ones who read pedophilic porn that are the potential pedophiles. That's the more immediate uh, concern, if you ask me. These, the pedo freaks. This is what I'm talking about. You got these people who are freaks and who don't understand that they're freaks and refuse to realize why they are freaks. Uh, they're like a dog that craps on an expensive Persian rug and can't understand what it did wrong. It has nothing to do with a particular fandom. It has everything to do with particular fans. Yes, I know. And Desmond Morris is still reaching. Generally speaking, the people that draw prurient material draw the characters as adults. It's the one who draw the characters as little children who should scare the hell out of you, at least as far as that goes. Well, the problem with that is Edgar. Yeah, large head, large eyes, small bodies. The problem with that is that those features are normal for making any character cute. It has nothing to do with infantilizing them. Pretty much every cartoon character has those general features: large head, small body. He's looking for subtleties where there are none. The people who are in the perverts who are in to little girl porn don't bother. They come out and they draw the characters as little children, as little girls. This is in Japanese porn, Japanese hentai. It's called lowly. It's got its own classification. And generally speaking, it's very clear the different, regardless of stylizing, it's always very clear whether the character is supposed to be an adult or child like or a child. And I got to repeat, Desmond Morris, he is over reading the data. As Sigmund Freud put it, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. Not everything has a subtle hidden meaning, and not every subtle, and not every influence is, not every quote unquote subconscious influence is either effective or as potent as the average psychiatrist likes to imagine. Oh yeah, obsessed with well. The reason that the reason that fans have differences, it's very basic. The main six, their character types are based off the six basic character types of female characters in romance novels. Seriously, uh, city girl, country girl, uh, bookish, athlete, shy, nature child, fun, extrovert, party girl. Well, I'm sure that there are some people, there's all sorts of people out there. You're going to find all sorts of people with weird fixations and dysfunctions. Uh, he is interpreting the far end of the bell curve as the main. You don't make a judgment call by the extreme examples. People, people who are into porn are people who are into porn. That's the beginning and end of it. People who are into pedophilic porn are people who are into pedophilic porn. Uh, they each has his and sufficient to the day is the evil thereof. Let's just put it that way. But let's back up and let's address this correctly. Uh, every fandom is afflicted by these people, people who are sex obsessed weirdos. And uh, this is not an, despite the pop culture approach, which is to say, oh, like I said, oh, they find some freak with Twilight Sparkle porn on his computer. Oh, all these My Little Pony fans are perverts who are into pony porn. Or they find they find a furry fan who has a bunch of furry porn. Oh, all these furry fans are just in it for the weird sex and furry suits. You know, no, it's not something to do with. It's not the particular type of fandom. It's the particular type of fan, and every fandom ends up with a population of this particular type of fan. The basement dwelling sex monkey. And the basement dwelling sex monkey can belong to any fandom and usually belongs to several. And leaves a trail of slime wherever he goes, tainting the reputations of the fandoms that he is in. And unfortunately, because fandoms are made up of people who are generally, first of all, part of Western civilization, which has become overly tolerant of damn near everything, they are also, uh, personally speaking, people who tend to be social outcasts, and they are reluctant to ostracize anyone, even people who desperately need it. So instead of throwing the perverted freaks out, they give them room and space, and pretty soon they've taken over the place. Accelerated by the presence of the toucan haired social justice warriors who spend the entire time standing there screaming and shrilling, how dare you hurt these poor perverts' feelings? And men, people having a crush on a fictional character, this is nothing new. It's as old as fiction. And it's not particularly deviant or perverted either. Everybody looks for ideals in uh, uh, a man is always looking for particular ideals in a woman, and a woman is always looking for particular ideal characteristics in a man. We're all looking for an archetype, and it should come as no surprise that uh, fictional characters which are designed to have the broadest appeal to all of us. Uh, Sometimes strike that spot that makes people say, that they have a crush on them. And Mr. Desmond Morris, he's observed a phenomenon, but he's overshot the mark here. People aren't, the people who are attracted to these characters aren't attracted to them because they look like infants. They're attracted to them because that is human standard generic for cute. I'm not sure who Hinata Hyuga is. Let's see here. Gotta look it up. Oh, Hinata. Oh, yeah. Oh, Naruto. I was rooting for her. I've been rooting for her. I watched. I watched like the first three or four. I forget how many seasons of it I watched of Naruto before I finally stopped. Just got just burnt out on it. But I was rooting for her and Naruto to get together. I was the guy in the audience going, "She likes you, you moron!" Well, for those who might have just tuned in, let you know that I am taking commissions. I'm offering regular commissions, $20 black and white, $40 full color. And I am offering cameo commissions, where you can commission an appearance for yourself or your character in one of my comic strips. $40 for a single full color Sunday style comic strip, or $100 for 5 black and white daily comic strips. The buttons to order, the PayPal buttons to order, are right on the front page. They are also in the commissions page, which has a link at the top. So if you've been itching to see a new arc of Nip and Tuck or Goblin Hollow, or any of the other strips that are listed, go ahead and say hey. Sergeant Pepper's like cover of TRODV. Okay, the Rise of Darth Vulcan. Sergeant Pepper's. You mean with all the characters in the Rise of Darth Vulcan on a big picture? I charge extra for more than 3 characters. So, considering the number of characters in that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are the Broken Birds, there's Ranked, Skank, Runt, and Mange. There's Black Fang. There's Chrysalis. Hold on here. Darth Vulcan, Chrysalis, Dodger, Eiderdown, Black Fang, Mongo, Ranch, Skunk, and Mange, and they're looking about 10 to 12 characters there, brother. So that'd be well over $100. Ooh, oh. Okay, it is 9:30, and it's about time for me to go. So, I will be wishing you all a good night and saying farewell. Y'all take care of yourselves. Say a prayer for me, because God knows I need it. Good night.